don't leave on your accord, then you're going to be placed under arrest for trespass.
And under the threat of arrest...
Do I make myself clear?
So yeah, I'm just looking to walk around all just publicly accessible areas, not looking to go in any restricted areas, just wherever it's publicly accessible.
Who's we?
Oh, me, the freedom of the press.
The press of what?
Oh, of the fundamental rights and freedoms of the Canadian Charter.
Well,
It's,
yeah, we
Section
all
2B.
have that. We all have that, yeah.
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 So that's what, it's just, yeah, that's just what we're out here doing. Hello.
My name is Ruth White Frizzle. I'm the site manager for the facility.
Good to meet you. My name's Cam.
Cam?
Cam, yeah.
What's your last name, Cam?
Well, I'll start with my first name.
Okay, how can I help you, sir?
Well, just as I explained to these guys, yeah, I'm just coming in, just wanted to go to any publicly accessible area of the hospital, as it's a publicly owned entity. Just like, unlike the U.S., we have publicly funded hospitals, so... And
so what's your reason for your visit today, Cam?
Oh, purely just to, well, I have friends that have asked me to come and do this because they're actually afraid to even go down to the hospital to get themselves checked for other issues that they have. So agoraphobia, yeah, so I'm just out here, and I personally just wanted to see what the climate was myself.
Okay, so right now with our COVID regulations, Cam, you can appreciate we have regulations for people coming in throughout the facility. If you're here for medical care, we can certainly bring you down to the emergency department and have you seen. But today we're actually closed. We're closed because we don't have enough staff to have an open department today. So this would actually be your only accessible public space today, Cam.
I'm going to challenge that.
Well, you can, but
Yeah.
I also have the right to ask you to leave the facility, Cam.
I know, and you can absolutely ask. However, because I'm freedom of the press under the fundamental rights and freedoms of the Charter, Section 2B gives me the right of freedom of the press, being a citizen. I can enter any publicly accessible area. And unfortunately, you can't trespass me from a public area unless I'm breaking the law. I might be breaking one of your policies, I understand that. But your policies don't go above my fundamental rights and freedoms of the Charter. I'm going to go just walk around any publicly accessible area. I'm not looking to go into any...
So again, Cam, this is our only public accessible area, is this atrium right here.
It's the emergency area. That's not publicly accessible to anybody?
It's not unless you're here for medical care, and today the emergency department is closed, as I have said.
So, what if there was an emergency with COVID?
If there's an emergency with COVID, I'm not sure what kind of emergency you're referring to.
I'm trying to give you a hard time, Ruth.
I think maybe you are, but that's okay.
You can think that.
I'm all up for that.
But you understand what I'm saying? This is, we're in a state of emergency.
We are.
So then the emergency room is closed, and we have mandates that are basically telling people, that goes against people's rights. So I'm just out here just seeing transparency, seeing what's going on in the hospital,
Yeah. So, and again, this is our only public area. Unless you're here for medical care for an appointment, I would like for you to leave, Cam.
You can ask me to leave.
Yeah, and I am asking you to leave.
Yeah, you can ask.
Okay. And you're refusing to leave?
Well, right. Because I don't have to. You can ask all you like, but this is publicly owned. So unless I'm breaking the law, you can call. I know that you're going to call the cops. It's perfectly fine. They will educate you, and they'll say, "Look, I'm not breaking the law. They can't trespass me from a public area."
Unless you are here for a medical appointment, Cam, I do have the right to ask you to leave under our COVID regulations.
Yeah, but you can't trespass me.
Yeah. We also have to respect the privacy of our public. You are standing here with a camera pointing at me and a microphone right now.
Yes.
And that's fine. I am a public employee, and you have every right to do that.
Yes.
But I cannot jeopardize the rights of our patients coming in as well. And this is a patient flow area as well.
Unfortunately, in a public area, there's no expectation of privacy in a public area until you get to.
So I'm going to terminate this conversation now, and thank you for your time.
Appreciate it.
You cannot leave this area.
Okay. And if I do?
And if you do, we will have to take next steps.
Which would be?
I'm not willing to discuss that with you. I would like for you to leave, Cam, please. Thank you.
Right at this point, so you gotta leave.
But you can't trespass me from a public area, no?
Absolutely.
How is that? If I'm not committing any crime, am I?
No, you don't need to be committing a crime to be trespassed from somewhere.
It's a publicly owned building.
No.
We're educating ourselves about the fundamental freedoms of the charter, right? You took an oath to it, right?
Yes.
Yes. And so, without me committing any crime, you can't actually trespass me from a publicly owned building, can you?
Absolutely.
And would that not be a violation of my fundamental rights and freedoms? Really?
Absolutely. They explained to you that you can't be in those areas
I understand.
because there's private information there that they don't want videotaped.
If it's a publicly accessible area and there's private information in those areas, is it up to them to hide that private information?
It's not about hiding private information. So when you're in a hospital, right, there's patient information, and medical information is considered very private.
Yeah.
So that's why you'll often see no filming inside a hospital.
Yeah. So under the charter, once again, freedom of press, I can videotape and record anything that I can see in publicly accessible areas, right? So with that knowledge, then it would be your policy, or the people, any medical professional, to hide and ensure that that private information can't be seen from any public eye, right? Does that make sense?
I'm not sure I quite follow.
Okay. I don't know how else I can. Does that make sense to you?
No.
Okay.
Are you here to get medical treatment?
I am here to
Are you here to get
exercise.
medical treatment, yes or no?
No, because I'm
Okay,
not sick at all.
Okay, so they've asked you to leave.
I
Are
understand.
you going to leave?
But we've.
Are you, yes or no?
Are you threatening? Are you threatening
I'm
to arrest
asking
me?
you a question. Are you going to leave, yes or no?
But I've already answered that question.
So it's a no.
I've already answered that question. You know it.
So let's go.
Are you arresting me?
They don't want you in here.
So are you asking me to leave?
Yes.
And once again, we're going through circles here, guys. I don't mean to give you a hard time, but I'm just.
No, you do. That's exactly why you're here.
No,
to give
look.
everybody here a hard time.
No,
Because if
I
you
literally.
weren't here for a hard time, you would have listened to them in the first place and left.
No, but there's publicly accessible areas that I am legally allowed to go to, right?
No.
It's true.
If you were legally allowed, you'd be there now.
But legally and is different than a policy under the hospital, right? They have their own policies. I understand that, but their policies don't trump my rights and freedoms under the charter.
But if they're asking you to leave, you
Without-
do have to leave.
But without committing a crime in a publicly owned area, they can request all they like. You can ask me to leave. That's why I'm saying I'm trying to really figure out like the exact.
So can I
Wordage
ask
on
what your
this.
story is that you're trying to cover?
Yeah, I'm trying to get some information about our hospitals in Canada and what's really going on.
So are you looking to get a quote from the hospital, or like because there are
Yeah,
channels,
actually.
like a journalist, like you would
Yeah.
understand that there are channels that you go through to request interviews and stuff like that, right?
Right.
Then typically they will grant you access. You want to film some stuff, sure, come on in, we'll help you, we'll have a media rep come in and escort you through, right?
Yeah.
Like as a journalist, you would know that.
Those are for commercial purposes, and this is for freedom of the press. So every citizen has that freedom. I didn't come in here looking to get interviews.
If you're saying that you are the press though?
Absolutely, everyone in Canada has that freedom under the charter, under the fundamental freedoms to be.
Okay. But you understand then you going on into buildings, right? Especially if it's going to be a hospital. If you want to do a story on that, you need to go through the proper channels of talking to the reps. They will come in.
No.
They can tell you where
That's not
you're
true.
allowed to film. It certainly is true. If you're out in public,
Yep.
right? That would be outside. When you're in a hospital, there is an expectation of privacy,
No.
especially as a patient.
It's a publicly accessible lobby.
It's publicly accessible lobby,
Yeah,
yes.
and publicly owned.
However, there is still going to be an expectation of privacy, right?
They
Because there
already-
can be patients in private areas. Stump all over your freedom of the press stuff, right?
But you know it is, though.
It's not that I know it is, right? This is a hospital.
You might not know
There are
that, true.
expectations of privacy for people who are in here. Mm-hmm. Okay, for sure.
Oh, sure. In restricted areas, in the private areas where I'm not allowed to go, absolutely. They
But
have
even in the
every
public-
right to
in
their
these
privacy.
Hallways, right? There are going to
No.
be patients walking up and down these hallways.
If a private citizen walked by, is that illegal? Is that goes against the law? And what law would that
You
be?
can film anywhere in a public place.
Yes, exactly.
Okay? So when an agent of the property asks you to leave, in which this case they have, at this point, if you're not leaving, you're trespassing. You don't leave on your accord, then you're going to be placed under arrest for trespass.
And
Do
under
I
the
make-
threat
do
of
I make
arrest.
do I make myself clear?
Yes, under the
Perfect.
threat of
So she-
arrest. And so, what happens when police officers violate people's rights?
You can file a complaint and you can do whatever it is that you need
Perfect.
to
Where do I go to file that complaint?
do. We'll speak. Are
So-
you gonna leave on your own accord or no?
Oh, absolutely. I'm not going to have you arrested. Under threat of arrest? Absolutely.
Okay. Are you done here?
I'm asking you. So,
Are
like,
you done here?
I need to file a complaint on you.
Okay. You call the office. 245-2579.
Okay. Perfect. And so I can walk into any RCMP and videotape, right?
No.
I absolutely can, because it's publicly accessible.
So if you know the answer, what are you asking me for?
Because I wanted to see if you were going to lie to me or not.
I'm not lying to you.
Well, you
When somebody
just-
asks
so
you
you
not to
just said-
videotape, you
Yeah.
stop.
No, because I have
Yes.
a right. I have a right under the fundamental rights and freedoms.
Outside in public areas, yes. Public
Is that a public
place.
area? Is that a publicly owned, publicly
Okay, I'm
accessible
gonna
area?
stop arguing with you because you don't let me speak. You're just gonna keep talking and talking and talking.
But you're
'Cause
wrong.
you're the only right person here, obviously, because you've done your homework.
I've had my rights violated by police twice.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, it's time for you to go now.
Well, no, you said I can absolutely stay here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna provide a surname?
Well, do I have to? Under the law? The Charter of Rights and Freedoms is very similar to the freedom of press under the First Amendment in the U.S. So that's what I'm pretty familiar with it. So it's. Did you guys take an oath to that when you became a police officer?
Like
Yes.
you're trying to be argumentative
I'm
for
just
no
being-
reason other
I'm
than to
being
get a
inquisitive.
reaction, right?
No.
So there's going to be expectation of privacy for the people that are inside.
So fortunately, unfortunately, it might hurt some people's feelings. Yes, that's all subjective. But I'm talking about the objective truth, which is the fundamental rights and freedoms, which grants me access to all public areas, and you know that. But so I don't have to go through those channels. No, unfortunately, no matter how much you guys believe it. And like honestly, I respect police, even though I've been arrested and I've had my rights violated 2 times, where they violated. But I was illegally arrested, and I got both of them dropped perfectly, just for trying to exercise my rights, guys.
Like